What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this one we have why Dutch bikes are better and why you should want one. I assume Dutch bikes have to be the best in the world just based on the reputation that the Dutch have is more bikes than people. Like, everybody's biking, everybody's cycling. So I assume y'all got the best bikes in the world. Before we dive in, if you guys happen to enjoy, please don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and let's see these bikes.
This is our Dutch bicycle. It's an Oma Fiets, literally grandma bicycle. There is really nothing special about it, at least here in the Netherlands. But in Canada, the US, or many other countries, this bike would be very unique indeed, and bicycles like this one really surprised me the first time I visited the Netherlands. There's a good reason for this uniqueness. In the Netherlands, bicycles are seen as a tool for everyday transportation, a way to get from point A to point B quickly and efficiently. In most other countries, bicycles are used primarily for sport and exercise. This one difference explains nearly everything special about a bike like this. Now, it's not like this is the only kind of bicycle you'll see in the Netherlands, of course. There are many others, including e-bikes, cargo bikes, hand cycles, and you'll definitely see road bikes used for sport too, especially on weekends. But for everyday urban transportation, this style of bicycle is by far the most common. So what makes this bicycle so different from what you might be used to? Well, the primary difference is that this is an upright bicycle. It's built to ride in an upright sitting position. This is an inefficient position that will not transmit maximum power into the crank during a pedal stroke, plus it's totally not aero. But who cares? What the upright position does provide is comfort.
That's
the
number one
handlebars
right
on this
there.
bicycle are high up and swept back, making it extremely comfortable to ride. On this kind of bicycle,
I mean, you can't beat that. Whenever I'm doing anything, I do want comfort to play a high road. So if most of my traveling is going to be done by bike, then I want to be comfortable while riding. So it sounds like this one checks that off the checklist.
you almost pull up and back on the handlebars rather than putting any weight on them. This is just a more comfortable way to sit on a bicycle, and the design is very similar to the original safety bicycle developed in the UK in the late 19th century. Sitting upright also makes it easier to see what's going on around you, which can be safer when cycling in busy urban environments with lots of other people around. Riding this way lets you wear any type of clothing you'd like because it's no different than sitting in a chair, which is why you see most people in the Netherlands dressed for the destination and not the ride.
I feel that.
This bicycle has a step-through frame, meaning that you can get on and off it very easily without having to swing your leg around like you do on a bike like this with a crossbar.
Yeah, you gotta swing high.
These frames are fine and you'll definitely see them here, but I find them particularly annoying if you have a kid seat because if you swing your leg up to get on, you kick your kid in the head.
Can't be doing that to the children. I got to keep the children safe. The swing, if you got a child, you can't do you can't do the tall bikes where you got to swing your foot.
I don't understand why we still call these men's bikes when it's the only kind you can hit your nuts on.
Ooh.
Because step-through frames are more comfortable to use, they're increasingly popular for both men and women. This is another thing that contributes to people wearing normal clothes when cycling, and why you'll even see women wearing dresses and skirts. Speaking of skirts, this thing is called a skirt guard or coat guard, and it's quite common on Dutch bicycles. It prevents long articles of clothing from getting stuck in the spokes as you ride. It also helps prevent a child sitting on the back from getting their foot stuck. Another thing to protect your clothing is the chain guard, a plastic or metal cover over the bicycle chain. It also helps to protect the chain from the elements, making it last longer.
That is amazing.
This thing here is called a frame lock, and almost every bicycle in the Netherlands has one. These are incredibly convenient for so many reasons, but I've almost never seen them outside of the Netherlands, Denmark, and Japan. They are an easy way to lock the back wheel of your bicycle for quick stops, which makes it really, really easy to pop into a shop when riding somewhere. The frame lock also keeps your key inside as you ride. You can actually buy frame locks that don't do this, but I really like the key retaining feature.
Yeah.
This is a small detail, but
So you saying like can't no it locked that back wheel, so can't nobody just come take your bike and try to ride off with it. With these frame locks that come with the bike, which is awesome. You ain't got to really buy no padlocks, I guess, lock your bike up. You just lock it, because who gonna want to steal a bike they can't ride? Without the key, you can't do nothing. You have to replace the back wheel.
it ensures that your
the
bike
whole
keys are
frame.
always with you. That being said, I have been known to accidentally hit the key with my leg and bend it like this.
Oof.
Oops. Also, while there's a lot of space for the locking mechanism in the wheel, I seem to hit the spoke far more often than you'd think. I should have gone into neutrino research. When this lock is engaged, you can't ride the bicycle, but you can, of course, just pick it up and walk away with it.
Of course.
So if you want to ensure that your bike is still there when you return, it's best to bring a chain lock with you as well, and
Yeah.
most people do.
I feel like
you
I
see-
get that, but hey, it's gonna be. I'm gonna come out the store and catch you. You taking my bike because you ain't gonna be able to ride it, so you're gonna have to be running with the bike. in your
Bikes
hand.
locked only like this, it's probably because the owner considers their bike too crappy to steal. A slight variation on this is a frame lock with a chain lock integrated, giving you 2 locks with 1 key. Interestingly, U-locks, by far the most common locks in North America, are not seen very often in the Netherlands. Probably because it's difficult to get close enough to something to lock to
Oh.
with so many other bicycles around.
That makes sense.
Another feature you'll see on almost every bicycle in the Netherlands is both front and rear fenders. This makes sense in a country where it rains all the time. Fenders are not considered an optional add-on here.
Oh.
What's also included is a kickstand. Almost every bike comes with one.
Ooh. That's a nice one. I never seen
Over
one
the fender,
from the
you'll
back
usually
like
find
that.
a rear rack, though some bikes have a rack on the front. Ultimately, these bicycles are meant to be useful, so having panniers at the back or a box on the front allows people to carry a surprisingly large amount of stuff. No SUV required.
That's awesome.
Rear racks in the
dog.
Netherlands are also built strong enough to carry another person, which you see quite regularly. But then everything on a Dutch bicycle is heavy duty. These aren't aluminium or carbon fiber frames, they're made of solid steel. These bikes are not built for speed, they're built to last.
I freaking love.
gen-
Hey! You convinced me. I don't need to see anymore. Dutch bikes are where it's at. I need me a Dutch bike. I'm convinced. That's all it
In general,
took for me.
Dutch bicycles are built to be low maintenance. So when a bicycle has gears, they're often internal hub gears like this one. In-hub gearing is great because they almost never need maintenance. This is very different from derailleurs, which I find are constantly going out of alignment.
Oh,
Of course, many bicycles, including this one of ours, don't have any gears at all. You might also notice that this particular bike doesn't have any handbrakes either. A lot of bikes here
Brake
do
with the
have
pedals?
handbrakes, but this one uses coaster brakes that you engage by cycling backwards.
I feel that.
This was fascinating to me because in Canada, you will never see brakes like this except on children's bikes.
Yeah.
They take some
I was
getting
gonna
used
say,
to.
as a kid, I definitely had those brakes. But yeah, as I got bigger bikes, it was more hand brakes.
But I really prefer cycling like this, as it feels so natural to pedal forward to speed up and pedal backwards to brake.
I agree.
By
I
not
like
having any
that.
handbrakes or gears, it keeps the bike simple and maintenance-free. It also avoids any cables that might accidentally get stuck on other bicycles when parking in tight places. All of this is done to keep the bicycle in good working condition, which is important when it's your primary mode of transportation.
Facts.
The only problem we've ever had with this bicycle is the occasional flat tire.
I feel
And speaking of tires, did you know they use a different tire valve here? In the US and Canada, there are only ever 2 tire valves. Presta, found on road bikes, and Schrader, found on everything else.
Oh,
Here in the Netherlands, they use a Blitz valve. These valves have a little ball that prevents air from getting out. They're really easy to work with. In case you're
Huh.
curious, you can just use a regular Presta pump to fill these. Just pump it up to a high enough pressure and the valve will open automatically.
oh,
Another thing you'll sometimes see on bicycles here is a dynamo.
oh.
These go in the wheel hub or on the wheel and generate enough electricity to power LED lights. These are pretty nice, as you never need to worry about recharging batteries or forgetting your lights. Just another small thing that makes these bicycles simple for everyday use.
That is legit awesome.
And lastly, the bell on
legitimately
this
awesome.
bike makes a pleasant sound. though you hardly ever need to use your bell here, so it doesn't really matter. When we were still living in Canada, we knew about upright Dutch-style bikes and tried for years to buy one, but they were almost impossible to find. This photo sums up the situation in Canada. A selection of bicycles supposedly for commuting with nothing but sporty hybrids and road bikes.
Yeah,
They don't even
look
come with a rack, fenders, or kickstand. Maybe there are more bike shops with upright bicycles today,
Dutch bikes.
but when we lived in Toronto, there was only one shop that sold them, and the next closest was over 50 kilometers away.
Yeah, the rest of the world, we need these Dutch bikes. We need to no longer settle for the bikes that we got. We need the bikes of the Dutch. That's
Here
what
in
we
Amsterdam,
need.
I can't swing a pair of clogs without hitting a dozen bicycle shops that sell functional, practical bicycles. Bicycles that are designed for transportation, not sport. One group in Winnipeg, Canada, got so frustrated trying to find practical urban bicycles that they started importing new and used bicycles from the Netherlands.
Oh, wow.
They call themselves the Plain Bicycle Project, and they're regularly receiving shipping containers full of bicycles from the Netherlands. So to my Dutch viewers, when you're finished with your bike, please consider donating it to needy families in Canada.
Oh.
It's so great to have bicycles that aren't for sport. Bicycles whose primary function is to be there when you need it, to carry your shopping or your friend,
Facts.
and to be used with as little effort as possible. No special gear or costume changes required. This is a point that's often overlooked because while it's obviously important to have safe streets and cycling infrastructure, it also makes a difference to have easy access to practical, low-maintenance bicycles like this one. Living in Amsterdam, I know that when I need to go somewhere, taking a bicycle will usually be the fastest and most convenient way to get there. But it's also important to know that I won't have any problems either, because of our old, clunky, rusty, beat-up, comfortable, reliable Omafeets.
There you go.
I'd like to thank my supporters on Patreon, who
I absolutely enjoyed that, and I feel like now I do need like a Dutch bike immediately, ASAP. Like, this is the bike. This is the bike that we all need. Y'all talk to me in the comment section. If you enjoyed, please don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up. I'll see y'all next time.